What movie blew your mind when you first saw it? The Matrix, Jurassic Park, The Prestige, Star Wars, 1977. I was 9 years old. Never saw anything like it before. Fight Club. It was such a weird movie with such crazy characters. Beautifully shot and a great story with themes that are still of interest today. Saving Private Ryan. My heart rate was sky high for the whole of the beach landing scene and I felt like I was there with them. Terminator 2. Edited to add. Wow. I didn't realize just how many people felt the same way. Thanks for the awards everyone. Interstellar. Pulp Fiction. I had no idea you could tell a story non-linearly. Blew my mind. I actually finished the movie, rewound the tape, and watched it again, just to make sure I understood it properly and also because of how awesome it was. Still my favorite film of all time. Raiders of the Lost Ark. I was about 9 and walked out of the theater like, wow. Wow. Edited to say, please don't spend money. It's just a fond memory. Something that can't be repeated. The nearest thing was taking a rip-off nitrous on acid and jumping into a swimming pool a few years later. Synthetic Simplicity. Inception. Arrival. The Sixth Sense. Before the internet you could actually watch a movie with a surprise ending and have it be a surprise. And anyone who says I knew is a fucking liar. Edit. I reiterate. Anyone who says I knew is a filthy fucking liar. Memento. The first Pirates of the Caribbean. Gotta be Fellowship of the Ring for me. Akira. It was the first anime I'd ever seen and I was quite young. Maybe 12 or 13. The detail, the voice acting and the absolutely insane plot blew me away. Spirited Away. The feeling it left me with was like I'd had an intense, vivid dream. I'd never seen such soulfully executed animation. The Land Before Time. Granted I was like 4 years old but still. Aliens. What an incredible movie-going experience. I was really engrossed the entire time. Shawshank Redemption. Damn, I stood up and gave standing ovations alone. The Fifth Element. The Usual Suspects. Starship Troopers. It came out when I was in elementary. So I had no idea about fascism. I just loved sci-fi, giant bugs and war movies. Watching it all in one movie featuring epic battles was so much fun. Everything. Everywhere. All at once. I didn't think I could connect with a movie so much as I grow older and more cynical. Whilst becoming more appreciative of the importance of being ridiculous. I didn't think fight scenes could make me laugh so hard. And I didn't know it was possible to encapsulate my worldview so simply, in a universe where nothing matters. Being kind isn't a weakness. It's a necessary strategy. There's probably others from when I was younger. But for this to get me so hard at the ripe age of mid-30s. This was such a joy. Shutter Island. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Contact. It's still one of my favorite movies today. Q. Donnie Darko. V for Vendetta was quite the ride for me. Hugo Weaving nails V's character and motivations. Saw. I'm a horror geek. But the final scene, the big reveal, blew my mind. The literal gasp heard in the theater by everybody else was fantastic and made me happy I wasn't the only one who didn't see it coming. Parasite. Children of Men. Clive Owen and Michael Caine are amazing. The direction by Cuarón and general dark feel of the movie just suck you right into the bleakness. Blue Velvet. Not your typical 80s movie and Dennis Hopper scared the shit out of me. Virgin Suicides. Not really blew my mind but I saw it. Home recorded on a VHS a friend lended me. When I was 14 and home alone for weeks at the time. But living in a really abusive environment. When the movie ended, the recording stopped. The VHS went on with this typical visual noises due to blank tape and I stayed on the couch. Staring at the screen for a very long time. Processing the story. It made me feel. Not so much seen rather than not alone. I can't really explain but it was like. Finally. Someone out there. Was understanding. When you're 14 years old. Dealing with an abusive household, violence. Drug. Alcohol. Nobody really knows what you're living. Your peers are children. Violence or abuse are not topics to them, and you have to keep those things to yourself to socially survive. And the other adults in your life, mostly professors, they see you as a student. The dynamic is clear. You have to present yourself in the best light possible, since you need them to think you're non-problematic. You need to pass their class and get good grades. To very well behave. It's beyond questioning that succeeding in school is a great deal for your future self. So, really, you feel that something is off with your life, but there is no one to acknowledge your situation. And you're way too young to really understand how wrong what you're facing is. For the world, you're not abused or depressed. You're a 14 years old. You can't be dealing with true hardship. Society fails to notice you and address what you're living because no decent adult will imagine that's possible. It's too sad to be true. So, you're alone. Really. And you have to pretend everything is fine to survive. All the time. With everybody. Without even being able to acknowledge how brave you actually are, since you have no perspective on the matter. And this movie, with those girls who chose to die, well, it felt like an amazing gift. Somewhere, someone was acknowledging that you can be so very damn young and already feeling like living is fucking unbearable. 12 Monkeys. Still the best time travel movie ever. Emo. Spoiler alert, for me it was The Village. As someone who was not raised in the US, I didn't know what Amish communities were. I was watching this whole movie, thinking it took place in old times. But by the end it was revealed that they were actually in modern times. They were just a cult. It was a big mind blown to me. The Dark Knight. This was the first time I had seen a major budget comic book movie taken this seriously. And Heath Ledger was completely and utterly captivating every second that he was on screen. Loader: Return of the King. I am talking about the Rohirrim charge. Sicario. The way the movie was shot. The tension. The violence. And the plot of the movie was great. American History X was the last time I cried at a movie. Also definitely affected my entire worldview of racism and hatred. Primer. Big Hero 6. I went in expecting a silly animated superhero flick. I laughed. I cried. I sat in suspense. I was shocked by how good it really was. To this day it is my favorite superhero movie. Not a fan of the MCU, so there's that. The Game. W. Michael Douglas. Pan's Labyrinth. City of God. Sin City. Hands down. The Matrix, 1999. Junior year of high school. Went with a few of my buddies on opening night. Had absolutely no clue what to really expect, but I was ready for it. Seeing the faces of people while leaving that theater was something else. I knew I walked out of that movie repeatedly thinking in my mind, holy shit, Hollywood can do stuff like that now? Me and my friends didn't really break our silence till we finally got to the car. Looking back, I guess we were all just processing what we had watched for the first time. No one really knew what to say. Then we went nuts talking about it. Brazil. Whiplash. 2001. A Space Odyssey. School of Rock. It's not necessarily an era-defining movie. But that and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 dictated my music taste for the rest of my life. Star Wars. Saw it in 1977 in the theater's second week of its release. I had never seen anything remotely as impressive. Absolutely blew me away. American Beauty. Terminator 2. On that day, I learned the difference between good movies and great movies. Carrie. I was a teen and it was 1976. I am not sure if that was the first film that ended on a jump scare, but I don't know of any earlier. My current list of top mindfuck movies. The Prestige, 2006. Predestination, 2015. Coherence, 2014. Primer, 2004. Oldboy, 2003. Primal Fear, 1996. The Truman Show, 1995. Shutter Island, 2010. Cypher, 2002. Triangle, 2009. Rear Window. Requiem for a Dream. Still my favorite movie. The first watch was just so good though. I've never had a movie be that intense. Kill Bill. I had heard of Tarantino before and maybe even saw Pulp Fiction already. But I was just amazed that a movie could have so much personal style to it while still being awesome. Big shout out to Sam Raimi and Evil Dead 2 as well in that regard. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like. If you would like to see more content like this in the future, subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified about future videos. Now check out one of these interesting videos.